bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearing setting host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Good. So let's jump right into it. Is Lamar Jackson elite?
How about we talk about the fact that you booked your travel today?
Yeah, you like my new bobblehead I got too?
Yeah, that's like a Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
I like that. Is it a certain player?
No, I don't think so. It's the Cholos are like the the Mexican uniforms for the Gwinnett Stripers.
Right.
What's that?
I don't think you're supposed to say Mexican.
Oh, Latino? I don't know. Like, what's the
Hispanic or Latino or something?
Hispanic, the Latino. I bet. I mean, it's when you think of this,
cultural heritage.
Right, but you think of Mexico Day of the Dead, right? You see that?
Yeah. It's a nice bobblehead.
Yeah,
nice bobblehead. Is that one going to stay in your collection, or is someone getting rid of that one immediately? Or do you now use Silas as an excuse to keep bobbleheads around?
Well, we got two now because Silas got one, I got one. So
okay. Oh, so one's got to head down to St. Augustine.
Yeah, I think maybe we can work at a swap out or something, a trade.
I'm sure. There's nothing for me to give you. I just gave you a whole bunch of clothes and toys and all that type of
and
stuff.
A baseball bag. My son's legit now with a baseball bag.
Oh, there's cleats in there.
He was hauling around Trader Joe's.
I forgot that.
Trader Joe's bag with his helmet and bat on there. It was a little bit embarrassing going to these baseball camps.
Yeah,
everyone's got these cool baseball bags, and here he comes with his Trader Joe's tote bag.
Yeah, I'm glad. So he's excited about his little league bag.
Oh yeah, he now uses it. He can hang on the fence. Yeah, he's pumped about it.
Matt, the 10U Orioles had our second game today. A little bit before this game, just got home from it.
Okay, nice.
We almost won our first game.
Oh, nice.
We had the lead for the first time as a coach, I believe. But in classic Little League fashion, we were up 8-4 going into the bottom of the last inning. We got 2 outs immediately, and then we walked 8 straight players.
Oh, brutal!
To lose the game, I believe it's
8-4. That's a good pitching performance right there.
Yeah,
up to that point.
Then we ended up losing 9-8.
Game.
So
9-8, heartbreaker
game because I thought we were finally going to get the win, but my team's got some heart. My team did. We did a little trick play that got us an extra run in.
Okay.
So we're it's 10-year-olds. So if you can distract them and get them to throw the ball around, what I've worked on with my guys is a wild pitch. Once there's a wild pitch or a ball gets past the catcher, you can steal.
Okay.
So I've pushed into my kids, don't try to throw the guy out. Just get the ball back to the pitcher.
Right.
Let's try to get the guy out at home, but don't throw it to second base because you guys are 10.
Because he's running to third and probably home.
Yeah. So we did a little of that where we had a man on second on third. The guy from second runs to third like he's stealing third and not knowing the guy's on third base. Then they all panic and yell, and the catcher throws the ball to second base while the guy's trying to get back, which allows the guy at third to run home and score. Yeah. And then it's an overthrow to second, so the guy gets to get back at second base. We did it once. It worked out really well. Then my guys kept trying to do it, and the coach on the other team was not having it. He was yelling at his guys, do not, back to the pitcher. Do not throw that.
Yeah. So, I feel like 90% of errors I see could have been avoided if you just hold the ball.
Yeah. I tell my guys, get it to the pitcher, get it to the pitcher, get it to the pitcher. Because these kids overthrow everything. And that's been my strategy. It's working so far this year. Almost was so close to that first win, but I know I'm gonna get a win as a coach this year. I'm really excited.
That's good, Josh. That's encouraging. And yeah, I stress to my kids, throw to first base to try to get it out at first.
Yes.
Because that's what we're teaching.
Yes.
You got to get to first base.
We do that as well too. There's a lot of me yelling on the side. Where's your out? How many outs are there? Where's your out?
Yeah, but then now the problem is, Josh, by the time they pick the ball up, the runner is usually already at first base, but they still always throw it to first base.
Yeah.
And I don't have anyone who can catch it at first. So I'm lucky if the kid's even watching where the ball is.
Yeah, you're dealing with the younger kids.
Yeah,
For me, it's throw to that play. If that play is not available, get it to the pitcher.
Yeah, but you realize, like, as I'm over there coaching, you get like a first and third situation. I'm yelling at Sass what to do. I don't even bother telling the other kids what to do because that's the point. Right. But then even that you realize, I mean, baseball is like a really complicated sport. Right? Like that ball is hit. You guys say, well, if the runner goes from third, runs home, well, then you go after him. Unless there's an easier play at first, then we're just trying to get him out because we just need to get out. So then go to first. But then the runner decides not to run.
Right.
There's just so many factors that happen during the play. You just deal with youngsters. You realize how complex it is.
It is. Baseball is extremely complex. We're around it our whole life. And how many
just coach soccer? How simple is soccer? You just kick the ball in the net. Coach soccer.
Right. Yeah, even when we're watching the Orioles, how many times are we texting like, I think it's an out, maybe it's an out?
Yeah.
Like, it's
I still don't know what Brendan Hyde did in that ninth inning.
Oh yeah, his triple.
Were you switching everybody around?
I had a game on Little League game on Saturday where first time I wanted to go argue with the ump because I didn't like his call and I held myself back. And then today in Little League we had a Baltimore chop. You know the classic Baltimore chop.
I'm aware of the term Baltimore chop. Where you hit it right into the ground, a high bouncing infield ball.
Yeah. It's right into the ground, bounces up. Kid did that, and they didn't know what to do. He thought it was just a foul ball or something because it went straight down like that. And I had to yell at him to get over. And he goes, I go, you know what that's called? He goes, what? I said, a Baltimore chop. And he says, because we're the Orioles? I said, no, it's just what it's called. I said, I don't have time for the story now. You got to steal second base. Get ready.
Do you know the origins of the Baltimore chop?
Yeah, the Orioles buried plates in the dirt right in front of home plate so that they could do that.
I think you just made that up.
No, I believe.
I'm pretty sure. Did you read that? Did Dan Connolly write that in one of his books? I think Dan Connolly might have made that up. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Burying plates in front of the home plate.
I believe they did something like that back in the day.
That sounds like a Buck Showalter move right there.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Baltimore chop from the 1800 Orioles.
All right, that. The Orioles that eventually turned into the Yankees. Little history lesson right there.
Let's see if I can find the history. Oh, I click on the link to get the history, and it says this website no longer exists.
Okay, well maybe there's some kind of conspiracy where they're trying to not let people know about the origin to the Baltimore chop.
I'm pretty sure there was something about they buried like steel in the ground.
All right, you can research after the show, or one of our listeners can get on it, or when I'm going on one of my rants, you can continue to look it up. We got a good show today. I'm in a weird place with the Orioles and my fandom right now. In that
a weird place.
I'm in a weird place, Josh.
They are 97 wins, and they are pretty much going to win the division.
Yeah. How are you feeling about? I don't want to say, man, this is going to come off wrong, and I understand this sounds like an idiot, but I'm a little bit. Not disinterested, not the word, but I'm kind of in chill mode. I'm in chill mode with the Orioles right now. They're going to win the division. It's a done deal.
Yes.
And so I'm not living and dying when I go to Twitter and people are living and dying with every pitch. I'm like, you guys got to relax. I'm already mentally prepping myself for playoffs, right? I'm not going to get upset. I mean, the magic number is now 3. We have a week left to go. Right? So any combination of us winning or Rays losing over the next 7 days, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, if we won 2 games, they'd have to win every game.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if we lose the next 3 games and they win the next 3 games, then I'll start to get worried. But right now, I'm not worried at all. We have, according to Fangraphs, I think something like 97%, over 97% chance to win the division. And even in worst case scenario, like we're still in the playoffs. So I'm not, but I'm really confident that we're going to I mean, that 97% is a really big number. I'm really confident that we're going to win the division. And so these games, I'm not living or dying with it. And if you're living and dying with these results, and if you're living and dying with, the Rays results, you got to chill out and pace yourself, because we're getting into playoff mode when you legit will live and die, because it could mean the end of your season or a pursuit toward eternal glory. So don't get caught up on game 152. Like, understand what matters here. It's the playoffs. So that's Josh, that's where my mind's at.
Yes.
I don't know about you.
No, I'm in chill mode now. I was a little concerned when we lost that game in Houston and then slid a little with 2 losses at Cleveland. And Friday night really stung when we fought back and then really fell apart pitching wise. When what's his name gave up all those
Fuji
runs. Well, Fuji struggled, and then Perez.
Oh yeah, Perez had a bad outing
and had a bad out, and that got me concerned. But after splitting with Cleveland, winning the next 2, knowing we got the Nats and the Red Sox, I'm in chill mode. I'm stressing way more about my travel and arrangements and going to games and all that than what the Orioles are going to do, because we're not a wild card team. We're going to be winning the division this week.
Yeah, I completely agree. I purchased my plane ticket today for the division series.
Yes,
that we will have home field in. So like, I've already made that's how confident I feel. And I didn't get the ticket insurance. I could have paid $7 for ticket insurance, Josh. And I said, I don't want that ticket insurance.
No.
I'm not getting a refund. I'm not changing the date. This is what it is.
Yeah, I'm going up Thursday to Monday. I am considering I might stay and just work up in Maryland that week to build up to game 5 if necessary. But right now, you and I have tickets to game 1. I'm hoping we can find a 336 or someone that has a few tickets to game 2 we can buy without all the StubHub additional charges.
Yeah, I'm not. I want to ask you a question about those StubHub charges, but I'm not sweating not going to game 2. I mean, I have even watched a game. I mean, when was the last time me, you, and Dad sat down and watched a game on television together? Like that's appealing to me. I'll take that. I'll take watching game 1 in the stadium and staying at home and spending what I'd pay for 6 packs of beer. I would pay for half a beer at the stadium. I'm good. I'm staying home and watching.
Maybe get Bert to come join us. Maybe.
Yeah, I heard Bert might be out of town.
Oh, really? All right.
I heard he's going to be in Florida.
Oh, is he going to be? Oh, is he going to be down here?
I think he's going to be down there that weekend.
All right. I don't know. I'll check in with him. But yeah, if otherwise, we'll do game 2. Maybe we'll do a podcast right after game 2.
Yeah, that definitely.
So, by the way,
I don't even know. I assume these are all night games, right? Even it's going to be a Saturday.
I don't know.
It's going to be Saturday, Sunday. I assume
it's Saturday, Sunday. I am starting to think our Sunday game might be a day game, because there's a concert at M&T Bank Stadium that night.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, I think it's Billy Joel.
Oh, that's a big concert.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Oh, that's weird.
It's a big weird concert that, like, I don't even know how that was allowed to be scheduled.
Yeah,
because you would think you always leave it open for the potential of playoffs, even though you don't think you'll be playoffs.
Yeah,
so it's weird. I haven't heard anyone talking about it.
You think John Angelos would rather host a game 2 division series or host Billy Joel in concert? What would be his preference? Where is he going to be on that night? Is he going to be over at MAT? Well, M&T watching Billy Joel? Is he going to be at Camden?
I believe he enjoyed the Homer hose. So maybe he likes that Homer hose and wants a little bit more of that.
With more celebration.
I think the playoff game in Baltimore will make him more money than a Billy Joel concert.
Josh, I was blown away by ticket prices.
I told you I bought Braves tickets too, and they're a lot cheaper than the Oriole tickets face value.
How much was? I mean, we got at face value. How much were the division tickets? And I didn't know this either. That ALC, the wild card division, you get to ALCS, the price increases as you just get further in the playoffs. Which all that seems just a little weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it like 150 and 180 or something?
I know the ALCS was 180. We're up in guys, section 334, up way up top, right? We're
okay. It is game 1. It is Saturday. October 7th, that Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks perform at M&T Bank Stadium.
Oh, that's game one. That's where we're going.
Game one. So
Ooh,
that's
parking.
Parking.
That's all I think.
know. And we were worried about parking before.
Yeah, we're going to go there Friday. Sleep there.
I don't know how that's going to handle it. I want a night game. I don't want to go to a day game. We need a night game.
So let's just say, and I know like we got the cheapest tickets are like, and let's just call them 150, and your tickets go way up from there. So let's just say an average. I'm underselling it, but let's say an average of $200 per ticket, right? That's underselling it.
Times 47.
45. Okay, I'll do 45 to be conservative. I'm being conservative with all these numbers.
All right.
So conservatively,
all right, go ahead. This is just tickets,
not including concessions and all that, and team store. That's going to be bonkers.
Yeah. All those Take October $40 T-shirts.
Yeah, it's $9 million.
$9 million for one game. One game tickets.
Yeah, and that's conservative. I'm sure it's much more than that when you get to all the suites and the box seats. I'm sure it's much more than that. So we can say in between the $9 to like $20 million range.
And he's going to host at a minimum 2 games.
Yeah,
bare minimum 2 games.
Yeah, bare minimum.
Right, and that's tickets. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that doesn't include parking. It doesn't include obviously the beer sales and all that.
And that's on the low range also.
And that's as low as you can get. It's definitely going to be much higher than ticket sales.
Yeah.
So
talk about being in chill mode. John Angelos is in chill mode.
Oh man, I mean these teams make so much money to get to the playoffs. It's crazy, and the price goes up a lot with the ALCS. So even if you play, and there you're playing at least 2 again, right?
Yeah, that's
maybe 3. Or at least 3.
ALCS isn't that a 7-game series?
Yeah, so it is
at least 3.
Do 3. I forget the breakdown. 3-3-1. Is that what it is?
You're right. It's 2-3-1. 2-3-2.
2-3-2. So it could potentially be 2. But at least 2, and that's going to be even. You can double whatever it is for that. You can double it for the ALCS in terms of ticket prices. So, just bonkers. Yeah.
Yet he still wants more money from the city.
Yeah. Can I ask some stupid questions about ticket pricing?
Okay. I might not have the answers, but I like stupid questions.
I was just thinking about this, and when you texted me something, then I got like blew my mind a little bit, and so we can talk about that too.
I tell you, I love that this is chill mode. We're not stressing. The Orioles got some issues. We got to talk a little playoffs and playoff concerns.
Yeah,
chill mode. We don't need to worry about that right now.
Yeah, there are a couple things. I mean, there's roster questions come playoffs. I do have a couple concerns. I want to get into, I think, the most undercovered story this end of the season. I want to get into that too. I was doing research right before the show, so I started a little bit later. But on that topic. But in terms of tickets, just dumb questions here.
Okay.
If the Orioles don't, we bought ALCS tickets. If they don't make it to the ALCS, I know they put like that back towards season ticket plans, or you get a refund.
Yes.
I heard this somewhere that the credit card fee or whatever it is, ticket fee, is not reimbursed.
Yeah, I heard.
Is that true?
Yeah. The ticket fee is not reimbursed.
And the ticket fee is not like $1. It's like $15-$20, right?
Yeah, that is not reimbursed because you're paying someone to do your service and prepare the ticket for you, which is a load of crap because the service fees did not come when there was a lady behind the counter. Service fees, ticket fees came when the computer did it all by itself.
ChatGPT all of a sudden needs to get paid.
Well, and not only that, no matter when the Orioles get knocked out, they are not refunding your money until it's like 2 or 3 weeks after the World Series.
Oh, and why is that?
Who knows? It was
in case they get back in the playoffs somehow.
I don't. It was in the fine print. It was in the fine print.
Yeah, that's weird to me that they keep that. Like, who keeps that fee money?
You know how much
Ticketmaster?
I don't know. Like it should be like
a good gig to not have the tickets and keep the money.
Forget all that. How much money does John Angelos make off the interest of having this $20, $30, $40 million in the bank?
Oh, just sitting there,
just for a month and a half, until he refunds everyone. Yeah. He's got to be making a few $100,000 just on interest.
Oh yeah. He's paying. He's paying for Batista's contract this year off that interest.
Exactly. Like it doesn't. He can refund all the money, and he still made money off us.
Yeah, it's true. Related question. So that's a ripoff. Related question. if I have a ticket right now to the ALCS,
Yes.
I understand what happens if they don't make it. What if though I go on StubHub right now and sell it to somebody else? How does that work?
I had a few things.
Yeah.
You technically do not have a ticket at this point. If you go into your ballpark app, there's a placeholder, not a ticket.
Okay.
If you go on to
I can't really sell something I don't have.
right. If you go onto StubHub, which I've done, you can list your ticket and like see it says barcode unavailable. So I don't mind showing it because it says barcode unavailable.
Right.
No one can steal that. When you go onto StubHub, you type in your seat number and everything, and you say, I will be able to upload the barcode, and you choose like the day before the game.
I gotcha. So you don't actually transfer the ticket
until then.
Okay.
But you can list it now. But anyone that like
does that money get transferred over to you the moment someone buys it?
No.
Or does that whole thing waits?
It waits. Okay. You'll be told, hey, someone bought your tickets, but they don't give you the money until you upload the barcode.
I gotcha. All right. Well, that clears that thing up.
Yeah.
Right
now, if I would not go on StubHub and buy anything beyond game 1 or game 2 of the ALDS.
Right.
Because nothing else is guaranteed at this point.
Yeah, I completely agree. Unless, I mean, it depends when you think you can get the best deal. I'm sure there's people who know this. And this is what I was thinking about. You sent that text about going to Pickles, which, by the way,
that was a text I got from, I guess, a listener.
Okay.
On over the DM came to me over the weekend about it.
Yeah. First of all, let me say going to Pickles before game 2 of the LDS sounds like an absolute nightmare. Yes. Maybe my 15-year-old younger self would enjoy it.
So this guy's suggestion was go to Pickles before the game, pregame, watch the first pitch on TV, and right after that first pitch, go on to StubHub and buy the cheapest ticket and go on it.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I never thought about it before. But if you're selling tickets on StubHub, you're hoping to get a certain price, and if you don't get it, once the game starts, you might as well drop it to really cheap just to get rid of it because you're not going anyway.
This guy said he got into a couple of Nats World Series games this way.
That's a really good idea. Now there is some inherent risk there,
and there's an inherent risk that you don't get it. But I don't. But I also, on the other hand, I don't feel bad because the guys who are doing that and haven't dropped the ticket price until after the first pitch are the guys that rip you off all the time on StubHub.
Yeah,
they're the computers. They're not buying from other fans.
I don't feel bad about that at all. I never feel bad. I mean, no, I don't. I never feel bad about getting a good ticket price on StubHub. That's never even crossed my mind to feel bad about that one.
Has that ever happened? A good ticket price on StubHub?
No. That's what. Never. Now you go and says cheap price, and it's like $300.
No, I have extra.
Best deal.
I have extra tickets to like ALCS Game 7. So I look to put them on StubHub, and they're like, these tickets are going for $800 to $1 million.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, can I list it for $200? Like, let's be serious.
Yeah. It's stupid. Now, at first, I would have said, like, to get to the ALCS, I'm gonna have to drop a couple $100 on StubHub to get there.
Right.
But no, you're gonna drop a couple $100 on Orioles.com.
Yeah.
to get to an ALCS. So now all of a sudden, $200 actually is affordable.
Right.
Reflects the price you paid. So now all of a sudden, like I assume whatever you pay on Orioles.com, it's going to at least double, right? On the open market.
So yeah.
I assume you're looking at $400 to go to ALCS.
Right. I would assume people are going to try to double their money.
But it is. I mean, that's what it was. $180 for an ALCS ticket. It is. I mean, Josh, it is.
But yeah, I told you I bought an ALDS Game 5 ticket for the Braves, and it was $55.
Yeah.
And that's the difference is they've been there before. There's definitely a little price jacking from the Orioles knowing they can get this money. It's supply and demand.
But they get it from the Braves sell out every game.
They don't sell out every game. They have a good crowd, but
they don't sell out every game. They sell out a bunch more than the Orioles do, and they always have a good crowd. Yeah.
And they could probably raise their price higher, but they won the World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So what the Orioles got going for them is guys like us who have been saving money for 40-some years.
Our entire lives for this moment.
We spent money in 2012. We spent money in 2016. but we didn't spend that World Series money, and now we're ready to spend it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, certainly, like Oriole fans will spend it even if they don't have it. We'll spend it. Certainly, like not having the money has never held any American back from buying something they wanted.
Nope. I was telling Dad the night before tickets, or right after tickets went on sale. I said, "Thankfully, I just paid off all my credit cards, so it's time to go back into debt." Thank you, Orioles.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, all right, those are my ticket questions. You answered my ticket questions, but
Good. I'm glad I could actually answer that.
Yeah. All right.
So game one we're going to, game 2 we're probably going to watch on TV.
Yeah,
which
right
I
now
think is what we did last time. I think we did this years ago, where we did the same thing. We went to game 1, TV for game 2.
I think we were there, game 1 and game 2. The only game the game I remember we were watching at home.
The away games. You're right.
It's with the away games. I think that's how it was last time. I remember.
Right. You are correct.
I remember very much so watching about Jimenez pitch. But yeah, so yeah, and then if it goes to game 5, we'll see about game 5. I think you would definitely be at game 5. I have to see how my plans work out.
I'm debating whether I stay up in Maryland for game 5, but if that divisional series is against the Rays, I'm really tempted to come back to Florida and drive across to the Rays and get a little road action.
Yeah. All right, Josh's road action. Are you in terms of the playoffs and who we're playing?
Yeah.
So we got a good idea of who's going to be in here. There's some question about kind of that last, spot with the wild card. We got the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers all battling out in the West, and then we have the Rays and Blue Jays here in the East.
Right.
As far as and then division winners, with us, the Twins, whoever comes out of the West. As far as Josh, your confident level, as far as who we're playing in the playoffs, who would you least likely to see? Who scares you the most in terms of playoff teams here?
Tampa and Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we see them all the time. We've played them all the time. They've played really well. Tampa played really well against us in that little 4-game stretch. I know Tampa's been banged up, and they got banged up more. But, we just went to Houston and played excellent against Houston, so I can't be scared of them. Texas is really good. So maybe Texas is up there.
They can put up a bunch of runs, and they've won 5 in a row. They're the hottest team right now that's going.
Yeah, they're the hottest team. But I'd say Tampa Bay is the one that scares me just because we struggled in that last trip.
All right.
How about you?
I'm still scared of Houston. I mean, I think Houston, they're kind of the type of team that's built for the playoffs. They got that veteran leadership. They've been there before. Yep. They got a true ace in Verlander,
who we've beaten in the playoffs before.
We did, and we took care of their great bullpen at Houston. So that was an encouraging series, and really good quotes, by the way, from Verlander talking about what a good team the Orioles are. And I know if Verlander or someone else in Houston said it's kind of like looking in a mirror at what the Astros used to be is now the Orioles. It's kind of weird. But very kind of respectful comments about what the Orioles have built coming from the Astros. And they scare me, but also something kind of cool. In all these matchups, I feel like something cool. There's something cool about going up against the Astros, who there's been so many comparisons to the Orioles and the Astros. And so now face to face, that does the student become the master type situation here. That's kind of cool.
I agree with that.
But they do scare me just because they're success in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'd like to see Seattle sneak in.
Yeah, I would rather have Seattle in there than the Astros.
Seattle than Toronto or
Toronto too. Yeah, because Toronto has, some weird dude that's going to go off on us in Toronto and get 5 home runs. And they're too familiar. Kiermaier or someone's going to go off against us. I don't know anything about that. Yeah. So give me the Twins. Give me Seattle. I don't know about Texas. I really don't know Texas that well. They just seem to be they seem to put up a lot of runs.
Right. Now Texas will get the second bye. So
so that'd be an ALCS situation.
The ALCS.
Yeah, if they make it that far, yeah. So all right. Hey, in other Orioles related news, do you see Jackson Holiday? The news about Jackson Holiday?
Player of the year.
Yep,
Minor league player of the year.
minor league player of the year from Baseball America, which is pretty cool. Following up, I think Gunnar Henderson won it last year, so this is keep it in the family.
Yeah, the Oriole way.
Yeah, and the guy who won it before that, you probably don't know the guy who won it before that, before Gunnar.
Wasn't Adley?
Nope, we got to go kind of back a bit here. Another catcher though.
Oh, for the Orioles?
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Wieters.
Yeah, Matt Wieters was the last guy to win for them. So, but that was cool. You think about it, and I was telling Sas this, kind of blown his mind. A year ago, he was playing high school ball. Right at the beginning of last year, he was playing high school ball.
Yeah,
and then he's drafted, and then just kind of flies up the rankings this year. So pretty cool.
I cannot wait. He's got to make the opening day roster next year.
I don't know if he has. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. I think he will, though.
I think it's I'm like 50-50 right now with him in the opening day roster, but it's going to be either way. If he's not the opening day, he'll definitely be there by July. And yeah, it's just you throw him with Gunnar and Adley. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
enjoy it because next year there's no sleeping on the Orioles.
Yeah,
like there's no fan graphs saying they're gonna stink.
Yeah, Josh over here sound like Deion Sanders. If you're going to get us now. If you're going to get the Orioles, now's the time because we're just getting better from here on out. I know it's pretty. If you think about it, sometimes I just think about this, how good the Orioles are going to be, and even like the free agent market. We don't even need free agency. Like, no, you could make an argument that there's no one that we could sign. We could sign no one, and we could still be a lot better next year and be in good position. So it's
right. Like, cool. And that's the weird thing is like when we look at these playoffs and our starting pitching, it's like John Means is back, and John Means looks outstanding.
He looks good.
John Means just went 6 no-hit innings.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Even Gibson yesterday pitched 7 innings. Like, suddenly our rotation looks good. Where it's like, wait, do we need a veteran to bring in next year? I think we're okay.
Yeah. I mean, and you start thinking about. I mean, I think the 2 unknowns, and we'll get back to this year because there's really we got too much to talk about this year. But I think the 2 unknowns going into next year in terms of starting rotation is. How do the Orioles view DL Hall and Tyler Wells?
Yes.
Because if they view them as starters, then all of a sudden the starting positions get real crowded. If you add Cole Irvin into that mix and then those 2 guys, and it's a little crowded in there. But if they view DL Hall as bullpen guys, then it's a different conversation.
Yeah. Well, right now, Tyler Wells is back with the team.
He is back. It's good to see.
And they used him late yesterday.
Yep.
Is he closer potential, especially if Batista's getting this offseason surgery?
Yeah. Let's talk about the bullpen.
Yeah, and Batista this year. Are we going to see him?
Yeah, so in terms of the bullpen, I think like there is obviously a huge difference when our starter goes 4 or 5 and when our starters go 7. Like we need starters to go 7 innings. That's just how we're built. But you see it all the time in the playoffs. These games, the starter gets through twice, and then the game immediately turns into bullpen games.
Right.
I am nervous about a bullpen game right now going up against another top bullpen just with some of the inconsistencies. Now, I wonder if the Perez breakdown, really everyone having a breakdown last week, has more to do with kind of overuse, and a week off can kind of get everybody straight.
Or hungover.
Hungover, sure.
No, I mean, I think the entire pitching staff has been overworked, especially the bullpen. So to see Gibson and Means and Bradish put some starts together to rest this bullpen has been helpful. And it's also been a combination. Brendan Hyde has been changing the way he's been managing these late inning games. And we've been seeing a guy like Perez be used 3 days in a row for the first time all year.
Well, I don't have much of a choice,
3 days. It's not much of a choice. It's also trying to see what these guys can handle. And I think it's a little testing of like, hey, playoff ball, can I count on you for game 1, 2, and 3?
Josh, Cano has pitched in 69 games this year.
I know. That's crazy.
He's pitching 69 games.
Yeah.
That's like every other day. Boom, 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 boom. If you look at his saves and saves opportunities, though, 7 saves, 13 opportunities. That's a little over 50%. That's not good.
No.
The ERA still looks pretty good. But if you look at this bullpen, Josh, Cano, Perez, Bauman, Coulomb, we'll even throw guys who are kind of borderline like Baker, Fuji, Jacob Webb, DL Hall, Tyler Wells,
Cole Irvin.
Who do you have? Yeah, you even throw Jack Flaherty in there if you want. Who do you kind of late inning games, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, all the all the playoff games are gonna be close. Who do you have kind of the most confidence for the back end of your bullpen? Are you a believer in DL Hall? Are you Cano because he's done the most back end work? Who do you have the most confidence in coming into a late inning playoff game?
See, that's something I want to see this week because I was really thinking we'd have Batista back by now. We had him doing little bullpen sessions in Houston. I thought we'd have him here now because I don't like Cano in the 9th inning. I really feel like Cano and Perez need to stay in that 7-8 slots. Them around, it puts pressure on everyone else. So, which means I really need to see DL Hall or Tyler Wells become that 9th inning guy if Batista can't do it. Because I want those guys comfortable where they're comfortable and where they excel.
Yeah. You know what I was doing pre-show? How I was a little bit late getting on here. I was looking up medical articles about UCL injuries.
All right. The problem is that is all over the place. Because
this is not a blog. Like I'm using open access, sports medicine peer-reviewed journals.
Okay.
This isn't Twitter. I'm not going to X for my information here, Josh. These are peer-reviewed academic journals in the field of medicine.
Okay.
All right. So I found one that was like a review of the literature. So here is kind of all the literature on UCL's injuries and interventions and treatments kind of compiled. Okay. And so they break it down because the reason I did this is because I feel like we're given no info on Felix Bautista in terms of like not just can he pitch, but like, will doing this make it worse? Like, are we like endangering his career just so maybe he can pitch a game?
I don't believe the Orioles are going to endanger his career to get through this season. I hope not. I think they're counting on him for the future.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, he's got what's called a partial tear in his UCL. Okay. Yeah. And according to this literature review of the medical journals, there's a low grade tear and a high grade tear, right? And so anytime like over 50% of the UCL and everything in there is torn, it always requires surgery to fix.
Right.
But if it's less than 50% tear, you can have what's called non-surgical intervention. And what they say for the non-surgical intervention, so let's say it's less than 50, they say there's 2 phases. All right. Phase 1 is 3 to 4 weeks. And that's you just work on flexibility and range of motion for 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
All right. And I think we're at what, 3 weeks now? Maybe coming on 4?
We're probably coming on 4, yeah.
Yeah. And they say, okay, but here's the thing that's concerning. According to this review, they said more advanced strengthening can begin 6 to 7 weeks following the injury. And then talks about a strength program that occurs 6 to 7 weeks after the injury.
All right. Well,
but that's going to put us like ALCS territory.
Yeah, that's ALCS, which is, hey, great. I want him then. I want him in the ALDS, but
yeah. And it says once return to full activity after that, you can continue strengthening and stretching. And you can start, and you should use, it says obviously you should use strict pitching limits, like numbers of pitches thrown and stuff in that time period, which I'm sure he'll be on. And then it goes into talk about the outcomes, what are the outcomes with doing this, this non-surgical treatment. And it said, actually, there's a lot of success with quarterbacks in the NFL, less success with pitchers.
Yeah.
So it says, here's the quote. Change in advancements. Where's the quote here? UCL tear with conservative treatment, but only 33% of players treated non-operatively could return to pitching, Conservative treatment may be considered in baseball athletes with a partial UCL tear with no on or nerve symptoms or bony abnormalities. However, the return to full participation in baseball and especially pitching is low. So, but like 33%, that's a low percentage chance, but it's also 33%. That's not zero. So you're telling me there's a chance.
All right. So it was 4 weeks ago Batista went on the IL.
Okay. So 2 weeks he can start strengthening, and very soon after that start pitching while also strengthening.
Well, your timetable lines up because 4 weeks. All right. He's been throwing bullpen sessions this week.
Yeah.
So your timetable lines up for this partial tear. The question is, does he need more advanced strength and conditioning? Like, how much does he need to strengthen that, or is he ready? We've seen him throw bullpens. We have no clue of the results of those bullpens. The Orioles are being very quiet about Batista.
Yeah. And it clearly says in the research too, like anytime, that's assuming that there's no further inflammation and soreness, in the elbow. If that happens, then it's going to require surgery. So it's also kind of monitoring how it feels, right? And I still like, the other thing is though, like I wonder about, okay, so let's say he gets back and he's feeling good and he's part of that 33% who kind of can make it through without surgery. And his first appearance is going to be what, in a 2-2 game in the ALCS? How are you feeling about that?
Right.
After having not pitched for 7 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's why I really wanted to see him this week.
Yeah, it felt like he would need to get it. Now, I know he's throwing bullpen, so that's something, but it's not the same as game time action.
At what point do they go from a bullpen session to let's get him in a game? My guess is the Orioles are going to press really hard to get him to at least one game before the ALDS.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the rosters for the ALDS. If he's on it or if he's not on it. I think that'd be telling. But I mean, if surgery is required, the sooner you get him to surgery, the sooner he's back playing for Baltimore. And so you would think if you can't make it happen, they're going to immediately go to surgery.
Yeah, they're totally trying to play for this year. You also got to remember, one thing we do have going for us is that wild card bye means that our regular season ends on a Sunday and we don't play again until Saturday. We've got those 5 days off. So that's more time to work on Batista behind the scenes, kind of hidden from us.
Yeah, that's an important week. And for Batista, also for Ryan Mountcastle, right, who's been out with shoulder stuff.
Well, Mountcastle, I think we're going to see Wednesday.
You think so?
That's when he's not eligible to come off the IL yet.
Right. Is that Wednesday the day he come off?
Is when he's available.
Okay.
So I'm expecting that we see him on Wednesday.
I don't think we will. I don't think we see him till the playoffs.
I know. He was the stand-in for Batista's bullpen sessions.
Oh, was he?
He was the batter. He wasn't swinging or anything, but he was
the two crippled guys out there.
Yeah.
But I think those. I mean, Ryan Mountcastle is having a career year. He's been great.
I'm not worried about Mountcastle bouncing back. When he had that vertigo, when he finally came back, he was ready to go.
Yeah. So hopefully similar situation, but also we've seen this before where you rush players back, they overcompensate, and they're just not as effective. So I don't want 90% Ryan Mountcastle back. I want the 100% Ryan Mountcastle back. But I think that Felix Bautista story is one of the most kind of under talked about. Like I was trying to find even updates on it. The last update I had was over a week ago. Like you just can't find updates on it. I feel like that's a huge story because he's a game changer if he's in your bullpen. And I haven't seen much written about, that's why I had to do my own research. No one's writing about, I don't even know what kind of grade tear it is with the UCL. What is partial can mean a lot of different things. And there seems to be a need for some reporting around this, be that Bautista's injury and updates on it and what's happening with it. And no one's kind of talking about it. But to me, this could be one of the biggest differences in this team or not is if we have a Bautista who can pitch in the ninth versus if we don't. Josh, these ninth innings, I don't care who it is. Cano, Perez, even DL Hall, I don't feel great about it. I felt great about Bautista in the ninth. I think losing your closer is a huge, huge blow.
It is. It's huge. It takes me back to Eduardo Jimenez.
Yeah.
because we brought him in.
And it was as if Zach Britton was injured.
I know. I know Zach Britton was healthy there, but it was that position.
He might as well have had a partially torn UCL.
You had a guy.
How much he pitched.
You went with a guy who's not used to being in that situation, and the season ends.
Yeah, this is gonna be a Jack Flaherty situation all over again.
I hope not. And that's where I think you see DL Hall and Tyler Wells as the guys you try to push into that position, with the hope that Batista's back and one of those guys doesn't even make the postseason.
Yeah, I think. And again, we'll get into this next week because we have time. I don't know when they have to announce their rosters, so maybe we can get into next week.
We got plenty of time because we don't have to announce it until right before the series.
Oh, is that true? Like the day before? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to announce the postseason roster on October 1st when we don't play for 5 days.
Yeah, because another question is going to be: we can choose to carry 13 pitchers, or we can choose to carry 12 pitchers. So, spoiler: I'm pretty sure we're going to carry 12,
and we can change it every series.
Every series, yes, unless there's an injury.
Yes,
some shenanigans. Then we can trade it.
You are correct. I assume we're going to carry 12 pitchers because we've been out. Brandon Hyde has been loving using his bench.
Oh yeah, he loves his bench. No one loves platooning, late inning platooning, as much as manager Hyde. Just for his own personal enjoyment of the game, he's going to carry the extra position player.
My favorite is when he puts in a pinch hitter late in the game. That guy gets on base, so he puts in a pitch runner for that guy.
Yeah, we saw that with Kurt Kursaut the other day.
Yeah,
get up there, see a pitch, hit a single, and then you're out of the game. Great job.
Yep, exactly. And then we saw Kirsted's been on a couple of these weird ones where we've seen Kirsted run out to right field and then one batter and then bring him back in.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and then if you look at the way that with all the days off, you don't have to worry about throwing guys multiple. Yeah. And then also some of the starters can move to the board. Like you're not. Our 3 starters are going to be
Bradish,
Grayson,
and Grayson.
You said who? Bradish who?
I said Means. You're going to say Gibson?
No. I'm saying Bradish, Means, and
Grayson. Yeah, I agree. We're on the same page there.
But what's your order?
I would. Oh, my order is going to be Means. Oh. My order is going to be Means, Grayson. No. My order is going to be Grayson, Bradish, Means. It's weird because I hate the idea of putting the rookie out there in game 1. But if that rookie can go 7 innings, 8 innings, that makes a huge statement to start the series.
Yeah, I don't know if this is recency bias.
My gut has put Means out there and put the veteran out there. But none of these guys have been there before. We don't have any pitcher. Well, I mean, we've got Flaherty and Gibson maybe, but like Grayson, Bradish, and Means, those guys haven't pitched in playoff baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can use. I mean, it's kind of important because whoever starts game 1, maybe even game 2,
you can move to the pen.
Well, can pitch in game 5.
Rotate them around.
Right. Because game 1's on Saturday and game 5's on that Friday. So either starter from game 1 or 2 could pitch
right
on normal or extra rest for that the game. And you're right. You can also, do some shenanigans in game 1 if Cobb Radish pitches, and then you can move Cobb Radish to the bullpen. I don't think they'll do that, but you could for one of those middle games. But
that game 5, when you're in all hands on deck, you've got some movement.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the start that Grayson Rodriguez made against Tampa Bay after we got blown out the first 2 games against Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
and it felt like the whole season was falling apart. Yeah. And he just goes out there and puts, the best start of the season on there.
Exactly. I saw people this week talking about Means' performance in Cleveland about, was this the greatest stopper movement in Orioles? And I'm like, have you guys forgotten about Grayson a week ago?
Yeah, no. Like it was a really good, important start by Means.
Right.
It doesn't compare to the hugeness of, I mean, that it looked like we were kind of losing the division. So I mean, I think the first 2 guys are Grayson and Bradish. I think we can quibble about should it be Grayson or should it be Bradish number 1.
Right.
If you recency bias tells me Grayson. Over what you've done all year tells me Bradish. The moment, living up to that. I mean, I guess that's the thing about the Tampa Bay start.
The moment
was huge.
Right. Exactly.
It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
It's the closest we're going to get this year to a playoff game was that Tampa Bay game.
And
where
it's
Grayson,
any of those pitchers have been in that type of situation.
Right.
So you can't say give it to the guy with experience because they don't have experience.
Right. Because give it to the guy who started more major league games, who's pitched more innings overall in his career. I guess you want to make that argument.
Yes.
But no, if I was with you, Josh,
I
would do Grayson, Bradish, and then Means.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page there. And then who's your fourth starter?
My fourth starter is Kyle Gibson. Because I believe Kyle's also a guy that will be hanging out in that pen in case we need him there. And a guy I trust coming out of the pen, if necessary, before we get to that game 4 need.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could pitch someone on short rest, but I don't see there's a need to pitch someone on short rest, so I think we are going to go with the fourth starter. Yeah, I think other guys you can make an argument for. You can't make an argument for Jack Flaherty, so don't. I think right now there's a debate, and we have to see what Jack Flaherty does the last week of the season. If he should make the postseason roster, that's what's going to last week's going to decide.
Yes, but if so, it would be for the pen. So who's your fourth starter?
Well, there's only 2 guys you can talk about, in my opinion: Kramer or Gibson, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not considering Cole Irvin. I think maybe he can be in the bullpen.
Maybe in the pen.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Gibson or Kramer, and just given, oh man, just they both have kind of been up and down a little bit. But I would probably go Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, I think Kyle Gibson's been the hot hand lately.
I mean, if you look at overall numbers, Dean Kramer has a lower ERA. Dean Kramer's, has given up less hits. Dean Kramer has kind of just about the same amount of strikeouts in a lot less of innings.
I know.
Lower batting average against.
What stands out to me about Kramer is his last 3 starts was 3 innings, 5 innings, 4 innings.
Yeah, and Kyle in his most recent start was really good.
Yeah, Kyle it's 7, 4, and 6.
Yeah,
4-2 and 6-2.
Right.
So that's what stands out to me is the pass, and that game against the Guardians where he lasted 7 innings and only gave up 5 hits and 1 run stands out to me a lot.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Like the last time, Dean Kramer, I just pulled up, pitched more than 5 innings. You have to go back to August. I mean, he hasn't done it all and it starts September.
Right. And here we are going into postseason with a smaller pitching staff. You don't want to wear out your pen. I want the guy that can get me deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in a game 4 situation where it could be lives on the line.
Lives on the line, Josh.
That's a little
is this dictatorship? You get you get killed if we don't win the whole thing. Is that how John Angelos runs things?
That's how John Angelos runs things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's weird is that I was thinking about this earlier today. Is it weird that we're going to the playoffs again and we're going in hot at a chance that, I mean, I felt before that Cleveland series, I felt like we could beat anyone. And we're going into this hot and it's like, oh, we could actually maybe finally once get to the World Series while Peter Angelos is still alive and owns his team.
Yeah.
He's not involved. I want to see Peter Angelos do the Homer hose. They might kill him.
No, you don't, Josh. No, you don't.
It might kill him.
No, you don't.
No, I pushed for years. I wanted Peter Angelos to come back to Camden Yards. Maybe a World Series will get him back in there.
When was the last time you think he's walked in Camden Yards?
21-31?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if he's able to be wheeled into Camden Yards. I don't know what his health situation is.
Oh, right. You don't know about the ADA compliance?
Yeah, I don't know the setup. There were enough ramps. I don't know. They do have those long ramps up to that deck that we.
I don't know. But John Angelos has been to more Oriole games in the past month than ever. I think in his family's life.
I mean, I know he goes to the ESPN games, so he can get some screen time.
Right. Whenever he goes to the national TV games. Which, are you concerned that we suck on national TV and that every postseason game is on national TV?
I don't know. My son, how many times does my son bring up, has he brought up, hey, Dad, remember when the Orioles scored like 7 runs in the first inning against the Yankees? That was on national television. So
Yes, that's true.
I forget all the rest. That's what I remember.
Yeah, forget to fall apart.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what's your prediction? What day are we wrapping this thing up, Josh? Give me a day. The magic number is 3, which means any combination of us winning and the Rays losing. We could wrap this up as early as as early as Wednesday.
Wednesday we could wrap it up. Let's see. Where is Tampa's in Boston? I think we wrap it up Thursday.
And we got the Nationals.
I think we wrap it up Thursday.
Okay.
Because I think
is this a three-way situation for us and we just take care of business ourselves?
No, I think it's a I'm going to be positive. I'm going to say 3 wins. We beat the Nats twice, and we take out Boston, and Tampa plays really well against Boston, and so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel good about the pitching match against the Nats. We got Bradish going tomorrow against TBD. I love that. I love when the game is tomorrow and there's still TBD. That makes me happy. And then the next game, we got Rodriguez against the Nationals and TBD. Josh, Bradish and Rodriguez against the Nationals. I am 97.5% confident we're going to win both those games. This thing is ending up on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think
the Rays will lose one game on Tuesday or Wednesday. Not sure which one, and we're definitely winning both games against the Nationals. So I think this thing wraps up on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I would love to wrap it up before we have Boston come to town.
Yeah, and then the Boston series, we can focus on resting our bullpen, do what we got to do, get silly with the lineup.
Right. Is there some reason we can bring Jackson Holiday up just for those 3 games? It means nothing, but hey, come on up and play.
Yeah, make Jack Flaherty throw in every single game just as punishment for sucking after the trade.
Right. McKenna can pitch.
Yeah. Hyde can do his ideal lineup with McKenna there.
I like the idea of a lineup and a game of all the people who contributed this year that will not be on the postseason roster.
Oh, yeah. Bring back Lester. Can we get Josh Lester for an appearance?
Exactly.
Let's get him up here.
Flaherty can pitch.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the idea of that. We're going to have 3 games to not worry about anything.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking here. And that's what I'm hoping for. And it lines up nicely when you have, we were just talking about who should start in the playoffs. Bradish and Rodriguez. That's our goes against the Nats. So this is the final tune-up. Hopefully, this will be the final time Bradish and Rodriguez start before the playoffs as a final tune-up for the playoffs. Because hopefully they won't need Bradish to start again.
Yeah, no, I'll be in such chill mode that I'll probably even watch the Ravens on Sunday instead of the Orioles.
All right, I'm not sure if that's a good choice or bad, considering how the Ravens played on Sunday. But
it's not saying anything about the Ravens. It's just saying.
But even that, Josh, the Ravens lost in one of the most insane ways you ever see, one of the most self-destructive ways I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Orioles lost with their $1 billion quarterback against a backup Gardner Minshew quarterback situation. And it's all about perspective because whatever, it's September. I feel good that the Ravens going to be in the hunt. And by the way, I got Orioles magic number to think about, so I'm not even really worried.
I don't even care
about I'm focused on October. You can't get me to care about a football game in September. And I do care about the Ravens, and I want them to have a great year. No. But it's 1 week in September, and I'm more focused on Orioles in October.
Most exciting part of that Ravens game was Justin Tucker doing the sprinkler celebration and to cheer on the Orioles.
Oh, I missed that. I saw the chip shot by the punter. I missed the sprinkler.
When he got his field goal, he took some water and celebrated by doing the sprinkler.
Okay. Well, how come he didn't make the 61-yarder then?
Why didn't they give him a chance at the end of the game?
Yeah, that would have been better too. All right, it doesn't matter though.
Hey, there's your
film about it. Yeah,
chill.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
I mean, next week is end of the regular season will be over when we talk next week. We're gonna pass that 100-win mark.
You think? Okay, see, that's what you care about, and I think that's good. Get the 100-win mark, win the division. All that's fine.
Yeah.
Will we have a Felix Bautista update by next week?
I think we will see Mountcastle and Bautista by next week.
Oh, yes. You think so?
I think by next.
That would be great news.
We will know. We will either see Bautista or be told that he's.
I don't even need to see him pitch. I just want an update on the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, we will have an update, We have to have an update because the Orioles are coming back home. What's it? 52 road wins this season.
Most ever, right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
No.
But Josh, I thought the only reason we won so many games because of that Baltimore and that big wall, and that's why we won the games. No,
that's
we
why we
actually
lost.
won away too.
That's why we lost games. That's why we lost.
We lost games. Yeah, if the wall was closer, we would have a lot more home runs. We would have won more games.
Right. You know what? We did not. All right, I got something for you that we have not talked about.
All right, we're over an hour, so thanks for bringing it up now.
Sorry, but Kerstead came up since our last show.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
You know what's crazy? I saw Kerstead play kind of right after he came back from injury. I saw him play twice. Once in Delmarva, I saw him play in Aberdeen. And I got his autograph to Aberdeen, met him. Cool autograph, by the way. Just does the big H and the big K in the middle. Forgets all the other stuff in between. Just gives me an H and a K. I like that.
That's my type of signature.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even try with the other letters. Literally just his H and K. But my takeaway from him when I watched him play, every time he played, I saw weak grounded to second, weak grounded to second, weak grounded to second. And I was like, my whole thing was, this guy doesn't have any power. How is he going to be a corner hitting? And everyone says, you've never seen power like this guy. They even show some of his batting practice of hitting balls where no one has any business hitting the ball. This guy's power is already turning kind of into legendary. And he looks like he's 12 out there hitting the ball 450 feet. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. There's a reason they don't want to put him out in the field, though. So that's got to be a little concerning. He is a DH and a DH and a DH.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, is he worse than Santander? It's hard to imagine. He's young, athletic. It's hard to imagine.
I mean, I would imagine he's going to play some of these home games. They'll put him out in the field.
Yeah,
especially once we lock things down.
Yeah, and listen, I also think, remember Ryan Mountcastle? You were doing that little thing, and I forgot Ryan Mountcastle was a corner outfielder for a minute here.
Yes.
And then he went to first base, and it was like bad at first. Like, oh man, what? And then all of a sudden, like he got coached up or whatever.
Right.
And now he's like, oh no, I consider him an above average first baseman over there.
I agree, and I think that's
so maybe Kerstead just needs to be coached up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's what they'll end up doing with Kerstead as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a wild journey. So with the myocarditis, and by the way, you can look at the drafts. People have tweeted about the drafts. People said the Orioles were crazy for taking it. Everyone said we got to take Austin Martin. We ended up taking Kerstead. Austin Martin, I think, has been traded twice or something. He's has never made to the majors yet. And Heston Kersted's always been a higher ranked prospect since he's come back from myocarditis than Austin Martin. And even despite being out for a year, made it to the big leagues by Brendan Ham. If you look at that draft, people like hated on Mike Elias for the Kerstead pick. Oh, you're just trying to save money. It turned out to be a really great pick, at least so far. I mean, we'll see what happens with the career, but right now, compared to the other top 5 guys, he's by far the best so far.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to make the postseason roster. I don't think he's one of these bench spots. I
want him to play as much as possible this last week.
Yeah, I agree.
Is this like spring training for Kerstead, trying to make the team?
I mean, I guess, but I think he's trying to fill in some pop until Mountcastle's back. Is my assumption.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't busted out the paper and pencil to figure out how the roster breaks down. I assume you're gonna have to make some tough decisions, though.
Yeah, especially about the bench. When you juggle that bench, you're gonna have some tough decisions.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a choice, Josh, between McKenna or Kerstead, they're 2 completely different players. One bats right, one bats left. One's a power hitter, bad defensive. One's bad offensively, but super defensively. Like, who are you taking him, McKenna or Kerstead? I guess you care more about defense or pop off the bench.
Well, let's see. And is Hicks healthy right now?
Yeah, he's healthy right now.
So Hicks is my 4th outfielder.
He's liable to get like a hurt back or cramps in his leg any day, but he's healthy now.
But that's a good thing, because you could say, oh, he's hurt game 3. We got to bring up McKenna then.
Yeah.
It's good to have an old man and some excuses. How's Kersted's speed?
I
don't know.
Yeah, I would call it. No, I don't know either, but I would say no one has commented on his great speed. I would call it average, I guess.
All right. See, you mentioned McKenna, and McKenna has played really well for this team.
Yeah, he had some good at bats.
But I cannot forget that first series in Boston.
He had that great first series in Boston.
No, he didn't. No, that was a bad series. That's when we lost the
Are you
game.
talking about single-handedly costing the Orioles a loss?
That's the game that we talked about and said, hey, if we don't make the playoffs, we're all going to talk about this game with McKenna.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's hopefully off the hook here. If we miss the division by one game, we can bring it back up.
As a punishment. That's why he missed the postseason celebration.
And
it was a punishment.
Kursak got to celebrate.
Yeah, it was a punishment because of the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So.
Some interesting things to watch for here at the end.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So, hey, next week, we get to wrap up our Orioles talk for the season.
Yep. Is it time to revisit bowl predictions, or do we wait to the end of the season?
Oh, I'd have to.
Or the end of the.
I think we wait.
To after playoffs.
Next week would be our normal bold prediction recap episode. But I mean, we've got too much to talk about. We're going to be celebrating going to the ALDS next week.
Yep. Yes, we will. Plane tickets are purchased. Plane tickets are purchased. Game tickets have been bought.
Yep.
We just got to find a parking spot, and then we're good.
Oh yeah, you're definitely concerned about that game one parking with the concert going on at the same time.
Yeah,
know any Uber drivers?
Don't tell Dad that there's a concert going on there.
I know. Maybe we should get a hotel down there.
We're going to leave in the seventh inning of a tie game just to make it out all right.
So, all right, let's get out of here.
All right, let's get out of here so we can go get ready and find our parking spot in Baltimore. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. Go to iTunes and write a review. Josh, last week we called for someone to go to Apple Podcasts and write a review. Did it happen? I haven't even checked.
I will check right now as I remind people to go to birdlandsports.com for plenty of Orioles shirt.
Yeah, get your October gear. You got some October gear on there.
October gear's going. I had a good sale last week. All the October stuff I kept on sale for this week.
All right.
I have to keep it going because it all worked out well. So what do you think, Matt? You think someone went in there and gave us a review, or you think they disappointed us?
Well, I think every week we ask for the reviews, and 4 to 5 weeks to disappoint us. So I think it's going to be another disappointment.
It is another disappointment. Our last review was May 24th. Now,
that's outrageous.
To be fair, we have 152 reviews, and we are 4.7 stars. So we need some more reviews to help us get higher up back to that 5 for whoever wrote something about Soroka's slippery snake 7 years ago.
That and the Jay Gibbons bring us down. We want to get back up to 4.8. Yeah, I'll take 4.8.
Exactly.
That's a solid rating for a podcast. 4.8, but 4.7.
Podcast app. Write us a review, and we'll continue doing the show. And if you don't, we'll continue doing the show.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're doing the show either way.
No, we'll see. But if you do it, it'll help people find the show because as the Orioles play well, more people are listening to Orioles podcasts.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. More podcasts are popping up.
That's true.
Every 5 seconds, another Orioles podcast is born.
Yeah, but don't worry. Don't worry. Every 2 weeks, another one dies.
Yeah. All right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X. You can follow me on X at Section 336. You can follow the show on X at Section 336, the show. And you can follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka and at Birdland Sports.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's. Win the division.